Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to reveal the top 5 worst trucking companies to work for. Ha ha ha, who am I kidding here? You all know this is Dread and not some robot from cyberspace. Knowing this should tell you I'm going to lay it down and tell it like it is. To make a list of the top 5 trucking companies doesn't involve pointing out 5 specific companies to tell people to avoid, but rather it's to open your eyes to 5 specific types of operations that end very badly for the drivers. I'm not trying to fluff up your feathers to sell you a $1,000 course, so let's get to the point here. Number 5 on the list is going to be the local mail contractors. I know many drivers turn to this type of operation just as a quick way to get off the road. By all means, if this is your purpose in taking a job with these turkeys, then go right ahead. However, most drivers don't last long in these companies. The reason is the way they work shift works. These jobs work you a few hours in the morning and a few hours in the evening. The hours you work are illegal based on federal regulations, but these companies somehow get away with it. The equipment is usually in very bad shape, and the co-workers are a lot of ex-cons and junkies. The shifts start at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, which puts you on the road with all the drunks leaving the bars. The split shift is the biggest problem, as it only allows for about 6 hours of being off work before you have to go back in and your shift again. This adds up to some serious sleep deprivation, and it's a job I wouldn't recommend anyone doing. Number 4 on the list is any trucking company that pays every 2 weeks. There's getting to be more and more of these companies that are in bad financial situations, and they need 2 weeks to come up with the money to pay you. If you ask me, that's a bad deal all the way around. Never work for a company that can't afford to pay you every week. Number 3 on the list is most Driveaway companies. These are the companies that pay you to deliver trucks. I won't mention any names, but I've worked for a few of them, and in most cases, after you pay for fuel, hotel rooms, and transportation to your pickups, there's not enough money left over to even get you home. Consider yourself warned about these companies. Number 2 on the list is any 1099 company based out of the Chicago area. There's something going on in their area where these scumbags are able to break every labor law in the book, and they continue to operate. Let me be point blank. These companies will rip you off. These companies are constantly looking for ways to take money from your paycheck and even take your whole paycheck when they can. You will get ripped off at these companies. Number 1 on the list is any 1099 company that pays you by the turn. This means you must complete an out-and-back run before you get paid. These companies purposely use bad equipment so as to have an excuse for not paying you. Let me explain. Let's say you run to California, and in order to get paid, you must complete the turn by running going back from California. But during your run, the truck breaks down and goes in the shop. These companies use that as an excuse to not pay you. They know you'll get frustrated and quit, and when you do, they will say you abandoned the truck and keep all the money they owe you. These companies are also notorious for running the payroll clip scam. This where they tell you that all paperwork must be turned in by a specific time and day in order to be processed and paid out on the next check. Then they will do everything they can to keep you from completing your delivery and turning your paperwork in on time. What ends up happening is when you finally do get paid 2 weeks later, you get paid 1 paycheck, but they owe you 2. And the one they owe you will never be paid. I know you are probably wondering how they get away with these scams. The fact is they're counting on you never figuring it out. Just another reason 1099 jobs are a bad idea is that when your employer withholds taxes, they're responsible for paying half of your self-employment tax. If they can con you into doing it yourself, then they don't have to pay any of it, and it's all on you. I know a lot of people will be offended by this list because I just listed the jobs where the felons and sex offenders end up working. By all means, if you have to work for these companies, then make the most of it. But if you don't, then stay away from these companies. Consider yourself warned. These are the 5 worst trucking companies to work for. Be sure to share this video to help others, give it a like, and comment below to help the video reach others.